Symbiosis 3-year law examination, that is the AIAT examination, I think is one such examination जिस पे ज़्यादा information available नहीं है, because they do not release their past year papers, they're not in public. So I thought कि हम अपने student जो हमारे साथ रह चुके हैं, इस exam के लिए prepare कर चुके हैं, उनको बुलाएं and let us discuss with them about the examination, ताकि आपको थोड़ा idea लग सके about the exam. Hi guys, I'm Ayushi, your mentor for law-based examinations, and welcome to Law Digest. So today we have with us Vanchika Oberoi, who was one of our students preparing for NLSAT examination, and she's done her graduation in Pol Science from Delhi University, and इन्होंने NLS के लिए prepare किया, Symbiosis के लिए prepare किया, so to say, and Delhi University के लिए. Although she did not sit for the Delhi University examination, NLS में इनका काफ़ी अच्छा स्कोर रहा, but she did not have any sort of reservation at all, so she could not make it. Otherwise she was amongst the top few people in the examination. She got a good score. So let us welcome Vanchika on our platform and understand about her preparation for the examination. Thoda bahut, because there has been many exams that she has given. We will try to focus on AIAT, जो Symbiosis Pune का examination है, and where she is presently placed. So let's welcome Vanchika. Hi, and tell us more about your preparation for this examination.
Hi, thank you for having me here. About preparation, if I start, then for AIAT per se, I did not start preparing for AIAT only, because I was also giving other exams simultaneously. So when the AIAT exam was happening, that time my major preparation was going on for the NLSAT exam, which is the NLS 3-year law course exam. So I was preparing for that, and AIAT was just a byproduct of my preparation for that. So I'll just tell you how I prepared for that exam and how that helped me AIAT. I think one of the most major focus of mine was general knowledge, the GK area. क्योंकि मैंने देखा था कि NLS was following the CLAT pattern. So my focus was कि my GK should be clear, so that passage-based questions are covered and also the writing part is covered. So for that, I did a couple of things. One was to be very regular with the newspaper, क्योंकि I realized early on only that जितना comprehensive study newspaper से होता है, जितना news you cover in newspaper, that somehow gets missed out on other platforms. So it is very important to be regular with the newspaper, and that knowledge sticks with you. So you don't have to go back and revise. So that one is newspaper. Second, I think what I followed was online weekly and monthly videos that were available on your channel and other YouTube channels. So I constantly kept and I made notes. So that is one thing that I'll say, that making notes is very important, because hearing once will never stick with you. You have to make notes and revisit that. And the third thing that I did was go through the monthly current affairs magazine, generally for UPSC preparations, people refer to that. So ये तीन चीजें मैंने GK के लिए की थी, and I think that was enough for me. Like I was very thorough with current affairs. And static GK for AIAT, I'll say that if you have general knowledge about the important things that have happened, then that is enough. You don't need to go into a lot of detail regarding static GK, like people
like
prepare
history,
for
geography.
you don't need to get into a lot of detail. General things, that general knowledge that you must have, that is
which should
enough.
Reflect in your essays.
Correct. And I think that is also available on some of your like complementary modules, which I revised and I went through. So usme jitna hai, that is enough. You don't need to go beyond that for static GK. So that was for general knowledge. For English also, I'll say that, which is important for the writing part, the essay part of AIAT. I think if you are regularly reading newspapers and editorials, then you will get a hang of how to write and vocabulary. Uske beyond English practice, like practice mocks, give exams, that's it. I don't think there is any in-depth studying of English required, and there are other areas that you must focus on more. That was English. And apart from that, logical reasoning and maths is not that much in focus. not that was not there in NLS also, not there in AIAT also, so I did not
हाँ.
focus on that much. But to
हम्म.
be on a safe side, I'll say that logical reasoning में कुछ statement assumption type questions practice करके रखना is
हाँ.
better, because that might come in the MCQs for
हम्म.
AIAT.
हम्म.
So the basic direction based statement
हम्म.
assertion, statement
हम्म.
reasoning, those questions, if someone practices, that's enough.
हम्म.
And the last thing was legal aptitude.
हम्म.
So for that also, if you are preparing for DU or if you are preparing for NLS, the preparation you do in those exams for legal aptitude is enough.
हाँ.
What AIET focuses on is constitution is important. That is one thing, and basic areas, fundamental rights, preamble, DPSP. These very the three
हम्म.
lists. This you must know.
हम्म.
Then powers of the president, the
हम्म.
judges, um, judiciary hierarchy, all
हम्म.
these basic things.
हम्म.
And apart from that, basic IPC provisions and basic knowledge of torts, like what is negligence, what is nuisance,
हम्म.
defamation. These things,
हम्म.
because this may be helpful in the essay writing also, because
हम्म.
essays are
यस. हाँ.
always around socio-legal topics. So
हाँ.
you need to have knowledge of GK, current affairs, and also somehow connected to law also. So
हाँ.
ये basic torts and IPC knowledge you must have. Contracts and everything is not that important.
या.
Also, one thing that I'll say is that nowadays environment is thoda important. So
हाँ.
focus on environment related topics,
हम्म.
G20 summits, में
हम्म.
उस environment पे क्या बातें हुई हैं. So I
हम्म.
think these are the important areas that I focused on during
हम्म.
my preparation. And this and other things, just keep writing and short notes, make your own notes. Like if this
हम्म.
topic comes, how will you go about it? Structure in your head, so that you are uh, writing practice is also happening, time management is also happening, and it's obviously sticking with you also. So I
Correct.
think that is enough for AIAT
हाँ.
preparation.
हाँ. So I think basically to sum it up, अगर to seeing your preparation, current affairs is a must, newspaper reading is
Yes.
a must. Then online, we also keep putting up legal updates as to what is happening and any important judgment that is coming up. तो ऐसी legal updates करना is important. English अगर आपकी fairly decent है, not much practice is required, because English as such I don't think कहीं पूछा भी जाता है. It's just that you need to have that grip of writing an essay properly, उतना आना चाहिए. And probably people can practice, picking up topics from here and there. थोड़ा ऐसे राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस करें, जो लोग
Right.
एनएलएस के लिए कर रहे हैं, सो वेल एंड गुड, उनकी प्रैक्टिस तो साथ में ही हो रही है. एंड एमसीक्यूज वाला जो पार्ट है, आई थिंक वहां से वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड बेसिक. आपको कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन करना है, आईपीसी करना है, टॉट करना है, करंट अफेयर्स, लीगल करंट अफेयर्स, थिंग्स लाइक दीज. मैथ्स, लॉजिकल
Correct.
रीजनिंग बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत नहीं है.
नहीं.
लॉजिकल रीजनिंग एज यू सेड कि असर्शन रीजनिंग और जो इस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, वो मे बी ऑब्जेक्टिव का पार्ट बन सकते हैं, बिकॉज ऑब्जेक्टिव भी बहुत ज्यादा क्लियरली उन्होंने डिफाइन नहीं किया है सिलेबस में.
Correct.
एंड कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल डिबेट्स एंड ऑल से हमको, वी शुड बी अवेयर कि क्या इंपॉर्टेंट ऐसे टॉपिक्स चल रहे हैं फॉर द, आई थिंक, पास्ट 1 year. दैट्स more than enough. So Vanchika, if you can recall your question paper, we've spoken about these different sections. तो क्या questions उस time पे आए थे, because they don't release their past year papers and many students stay clueless कि क्या questions आते हैं, क्या पूछे जाते हैं. तो if we can get an insight from you on that.
Right. So as far as I remember, there are three main parts to the
Hmm.
exam, SEIAT exam.
Hmm.
One is the psychometric test. So psychometric test is very basic. There's no preparation required for that per
हाँ.
se. The questions are very simple. For example, how well do you manage stress? That was one question that I
Hmm.
remember. तो
Hmm.
उसमें 5 to 1 ऐसे स्केल दिया जाएगा, 5
Hmm.
being the highest, 1 being the lowest, and you have to rank it. Then maybe
Hmm.
they'll give a very simple situation and say that in this, will you react in a positive way or a negative way?
Hmm.
So 5 and 1 again, you have to choose. So these basic, just testing your presence of mind and how you react to
React
situation
to a
and how you
situation.
handle. Yes,
So
very
these are
basic.
all
उसमें
MCQ format, कुछ
all
subjective
MCQ
writing.
format, कुछ
हाँ.
subjective नहीं है. There might be some visual based questions कि there's a diagram given and you look at it and then on your assumption you answer. तो इसमें कोई right and wrong answer नहीं है.
हाँ
Whatever you feel according to you what is right, so they are just checking that. Personality, it can be
हाँ
like a
साइकोलॉजी
personality
एज
test,
इट इज कॉल्ड साइकोमेट्रिक टेस्ट हाँ.
psychometric, correct. So for that, there's no preparation required. Just read the questions properly and do it. Then the second part was the MCQs. So in that, like I said, constitution is important. So there were questions like there were a few words given, and it was the question was, where do you find these words in the constitution? The preamble, the fundamental rights chapter, DPSP, and there was one more option. So these are the kind of questions. Or there was one DPSP article of DPSP given, and the question was that it wasn't mentioned that it's from DPSP. It was mentioned that this article forms a part of which chapter,
ओके.
DPSP or fundamental rights or
हाँ
fundamental duties.
हाँ.
So, like those, these kind of questions were there.
हम्म.
Then around current affairs, there were questions like when is India taking over the presidency of UNSC, or
हम्म.
who is India preceding or succeeding.
हम्म.
So these kind of very like prominent legal current affair
हाँ.
questions you should prepare. These are the
Right.
kind of questions for the MCQs. And the last part was the essay. So in that we had to write 2 essays, and there were 4 options given.
हम्म.
The topics that I remember, one was around reservation.
हम्म.
Then there was a topic around prisoner rights of prisoners, and there
हम्म.
was also a topic on judiciary and their role with regards to religion. So
हम्म.
that was the time when the hijab controversy was also going
हम्म.
on, if I'm
हम्म.
not wrong. So I think that you have to link it with that. That's what we did in
हम्म.
our essays, at least. So you have
Right.
to, the topics will be something that is going around.
Very
So, and
related to
even if
हाँ.
it is not, then it will be something in which you can still add something relevant.
हाँ.
So you will have to be updated with what's like the current affairs and important judgments. That is one
Important
important thing.
judgments.
You'll
Yeah.
have to write that in your essay.
या
So
जैसे हिजाब वाला यू मेंशन देन यू मेंशन रिजर्वेशन क्योंकि ईडब्ल्यूएस रिजर्वेशन वाज अंडर चैलेंज तो
correct,
उसको लेके एंड ऊपर से आर्टिकल 16 को लेके भी बहुत जजमेंट्स अभी लक्ष्मी नारायण वगैरह केस होते रहे हैं पास्ट फ्यू इयर्स में सो मे बी दैट्स द रीजन एंड प्रिजनर्स वाला भी जो क्वेश्चन है राइट्स ऑफ अरेस्टेड पर्सन का केस है डीके बासु का उसको भी लेके देयर वर सर्टेन थिंग्स गोइंग ऑन कस्टोडियल वायलेंस को लेके तो आई थिंक all these topics are coming from there. So basically, I
correct.
guess the students need to be aware of the legal current as well as the non-legal current.
Yeah.
So
And
current affairs,
landmark judgment
हाँ,
is
and
very
landmark
important.
judgments. So that's like the big chunk कि अगर आप वो complete कर लोगे तो the exam becomes fairly easy. ठीक है.
Correct.
So this was about the exam and I think थोड़ा अब students को fair idea लग गया होगा कि कैसे preparation करना है. Now that you are already at Symbiosis, so let us get to know about that also कि how is your life at Symbiosis, what is the daily routine like and how are the teachers, internships, what are the opportunities available. So let's talk about that.
Right. So I have completed 1 semester in Symbiosis till now. So what I have seen is that if I start with the pedagogy, one thing that is good about Symbiosis is that it is very student friendly. So if you have a concern, then it will be addressed, and teachers are like, willing to listen to what the students need. Then there are a lot of young teachers. So again, there is that connect that you can form with teachers, and they guide you a lot with everything. It's not just restricted to the classrooms. Even beyond classrooms, if you want to write a research paper, or if you are going for a moot competition and you want guidance, so teachers are always available for that. So that is good, one good thing. Another thing about pedagogy is that all classrooms are smart classrooms. So there's regularly study material that's uploaded, PPTs are uploaded. So there's no dearth of studying notes from where you can study. The library is very, very comprehensive. We also get a lot of books. Some books we get to keep from the college. Some books we get that are returnable after a semester. So it's not like you have to spend on books otherwise. You can either, of course, you can borrow from the library, but the important books related to your syllabus will be provided at the beginning of the semester. So like that, it's very convenient, and there's a lot of material to refer to. But yes, there is one thing that it is also very hectic.
Hmm.
What I'd say is that what I've experienced, because there are constant assessments happening. It's not like there is one exam that you have to prepare for.
Hmm.
The exams are fairly shorter, and the marks are less. So that's why
Okay.
during the term there are a lot of assessments that keep
Hmm.
happening.
Hmm.
And in those assignments also, so we are told to write research papers, or we
Hmm.
are told to write case commentaries. So everything that will require a little bit of a hard work. You can't just like
Hmm.
do it in an hour and just give the assignment. So
Hmm.
they put you in a situation in which you are constantly working, and at
Working.
least like you're forced to navigate these important areas
Hmm.
that or skills that you will need as a lawyer.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, then beyond classrooms, there are a lot of extracurricular opportunities also. There are a lot of cells in our college, a lot of clubs in our college.
Hmm.
So at once you can be a part of two cells and one student body.
Hmm.
So there's a student advisory board, so there's a moot court society.
Hmm.
Then cells, there are like 15, 20
Hmm.
cells, one something for everybody.
Hmm.
If you like extracurricular, just
Hmm.
or if you like something related to pro bono, like I am a part of the CLCL cell, the community legal and literacy care cell. So we organize lok adalats and pro
Hmm.
bono work and all of that. So there's something for everybody is what I'll say.
Hmm.
Then there is also an in-house publication cell. So
Hmm.
if you want to get something published, research
Hmm.
papers, you can give the papers to them.
Hmm.
And it's a very well connected system, very well
Enough.
oiled
Yeah.
system in Symbiosis, because
Yeah.
again, it's a private college. So these
Hmm.
things are very well in place. There are good fests that keep happening, some just
Hmm.
for first years, and the college fests also. So there is like fun, and there are a lot of mooting opportunities. So like in our first semester, we everyone had to do a compulsory moot.
Okay.
There's no escape from that. And
Hmm.
after that, you get your rank, and then you can apply to any moot that you want to apply. So
Okay.
these essential things you will be made to do, you won't be given a
Hmm.
choice.
Choice.
So
Right.
in that path, we also like get to do all these
Like
things.
internships also, what is
Yes,
the criteria?
internships, coming to internships, one major area. So this one concern that there is with internships is that, because first of all, Symbiosis Pune, because it's in Pune, they are not, unlike people who will be preparing for DU LLB. Delhi
Delhi.
has a lot of internship opportunities,
Yeah.
and you can
Yeah.
do internships while college. That will not
Yeah.
be possible in this college, because A,
Okay.
you will not get the time,
Hmm.
and there are not a lot of like courts and everything around that you can just go and do it.
Hmm.
So there are some breaks allotted again for the 3 year law course, because their aim is to finish the course as soon as possible, so that in the third year we are given a lot of time to do an internship. That's why initially internships are difficult to do. So like I just recently did an internship, so we got a 1 month break, but our
Break.
online classes were going on. It was
Okay.
not like an internship break. Like a
Hmm.
college said that you can do the internship, but there will
But
be
you have to
online
attend
classes and there
classes.
will be
Yeah.
recorded lectures. So you have to cope up with that on your own.
Hmm.
So that is something you have to manage. Like you won't be able to easily do a lot of internships. But yes, I still feel that like in summers you'll get a break to do an internship, and all those breaks you will get. But if you have that idea that I will regularly keep doing internships, like some students have that kind of an aspiration also, that will not be possible over here in this college, because you
Hmm.
will not, it's impossible to take out time for that, if I'm being honest, with all the things that we are
Hmm.
already doing. So beyond that, it's very difficult. But apart from so we also have an internship cell,
Hmm.
which is a very the career and development, placement and
Hmm.
development cell, which is a
Hmm.
very active cell. But
Hmm.
again, that also for 3 year law students becomes fruitful from the second year, when you have
Hmm.
something in your CV, or
Right.
when firms will take you in. So they keep
Hmm.
posting internship opportunities, you can apply, and if you're chosen, then you'll get the internship. So the
Okay.
career has, so the college has this thing in place, but not in the first year. It's really difficult to get anything from the college.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
in this thing, I'll say that seniors are very helpful teachers are
Hmm.
helpful. So
Hmm.
if you build a good contact in your college itself, it is it's easy to like get hold of something
Something.
outside
Yeah.
during these breaks. So that is there, but yes,
Okay.
it will take some time.
Yeah. So basically, what we understand is that life is a little busy there. It's not
Yes,
comparatively free. जो DU में people get time to study for
that
UPSC also. I think it
mm,
might be difficult there,
it will be.
managing so many things together. But at the same time, yes, I think a lot many opportunities are being given, like you said, कि वो compulsory ही है moot सबके लिए, which is
Mm.
not generally the case. So that's, I think that's good enough and makes sense also कि आप mooting at least कॉलेज लॉ कॉलेज में हो तो वो आप कर रहे हो. Okay, good enough. We've understood quite a few things from you. एक final something that I'd like to know from you is what is that, every college has certain, pros and cons and drawbacks भी होते हैं. तो what is that one drawback that you feel at Symbiosis that's there?
I think the only one thing that I'll say is that because Symbiosis has both 5 year law course and 3 year law course, because of that, the 3 year law course gets a little overshadowed because the
Hmm.
5 year law course is also a very bigger batch than
Hmm.
the 3 years. So we have just one batch of
Hmm.
100 students. They have
Hmm.
around 500 to 600 students. So
Hmm.
it's not like there is a conscious effort to do so, but it is very natural that because they're a bigger cohort, then
Hmm.
and they have 5 years in their hand, so they have a much bigger opportunity to diversify their CV and indulge in all these other opportunities like summer schools or these
Hmm.
cells or whatever. But with us, we have to be like we do not have the time to explore so much. So in the end,
Academically, it's a little challenging.
correct. And also, one thing is that our college focuses a lot on academics. So your CGPA has to be
Hmm.
good. Like in other colleges, if you are in a 7 to 8 range, then that's
Hmm.
considered to be okay. But
Hmm.
over here, when your CV goes for placement, it's it's usually assumed that you have to have a CGPA which is over 8. Only
Okay.
then will you be able to apply, be eligible to like your
Hmm.
CV qualifying
For
for a
placement.
placement or an internship also. So in
Hmm.
the end, when the CVs go together, because there are no separate placements for
Hmm.
5 years and 3 years, then you're competing with the 5 year students who have done
Hmm.
a lot more and they have 5 years in their hand. So at that time, it becomes a bit of a drawback because obviously their CV is way more diversified. And when you
Hmm.
have to keep a CGP above 8 and also do extracurricular things and also be good in your college, then that becomes a bit tough to
Hmm.
manage. So that is one thing because there is
Hmm.
that natural comparison that comes, which may
Hmm.
not come in a college which has only 5 year law course or a 3 year
Hmm.
law course. So
Correct.
that is one thing that you will experience and you'll feel that, okay, we are a 3 year, we are separate, but
Hmm.
that's a natural just consequence of
Hmm.
having two law courses. So
Okay.
that is one drawback which
All right.
I see.
Okay, I think we've extracted a fairly decent amount of content from you, Vanchika. Thank you so much for being here and taking out time from your busy academic schedule, I would say, and sharing your experiences with us. It was great. I think बहुत students को इससे फायदा होगा because of the lack of awareness that is there about the life that is beyond the gates that are visible to us. So thank you so much for being here and wish you all the best for your future and hoping to see you again on the channel in future, maybe for some another talk.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, bye bye.